Okay. Good afternoon, champions. Hope you're still having a great week. This being our last day, now I want to just dive into the charts so that you can be able to do some analysis and see the potential that the markets are going to give us. So let us just go straight into the charts for today. So just to highlight, I gave out signals. Was it yesterday and also on Monday I gave out a signal. So just to have an overview, so that is AUD USD. So this is the AUD USD, as you can see. Let it load, let it load. Yeah. So currently I gave that signal while the market was still here. You can see that I placed in the stop loss at a very good position where you will not be taken out of the market. You can see here we had a retest that could I know most of the traders were taken out of the market in this place. Then you can see that the markets went to the downside. Currently, the markets are in this point of support. I already knew that there was going to be some consolidation at that point, but I'm still currently holding on to that trade, hoping for a breakout. If you have a breakout to the downside, then we are hopefully, or I'll be 100% sure that you'll be touching this position. Our target is, as you can see, it is 900 pips. Yeah. So I also gave a signal yesterday for AUD USD. So the AUD USD. Currently, I know some of you just got out of the market in this region here. Yeah. This was also a region where there was a possible, we could have a possible kind of a retest to the upside, but then I'm still holding that trade. Remember, our target is 500 and 520 pips, currently on 315 pips. That's uh that's a good that is a great work. So today I just wanted us to analyze two pairs, and that is Euro GBP and also Euro JPY. So Euro GBP and Euro JPY, that's what we'll be looking at today. So let me just go straight to Euro GBP. So on the Euro GBP, first JPY, sorry, we are going to start with the Euro JPY. So Euro JPY, if it is your first time seeing this chart, I would like the chart to be comfortable to you. So I will start my analysis from the weekly time frame. So from the weekly time frame, you can clearly see that Euro JPY is kind of an easy pair to trade with, but at the same time you have to be careful when trading it. So we had a touch in this region, then we had another touch in this region, then we had two touches in that region, then the market moved to the downside to get into this position where we had another touch, and then the market moved to the upside. So there was creation of this point of support earlier from this stage. So you can see that after going to a higher position, the market moved to a downward position, having a retest to this point here. We also had a point of resistance here that had been created on this part. So we had several retests to this other position. So we had several retests to that other position. So you can see here we had this point of retest where the market still moved to the downside to this point of support here. Then it moved to the upside again. So currently we are expecting the markets to move to the upside. Sorry for that. Okay. So currently currently we are expecting the markets after touching this point of support. We're expecting the markets to move to this region here, and then we are expecting a breakout out up to this point here, and then we are going to have a move to the upside up to this region in this place, and then the markets are going to move to the downside. So that is what I'm hoping for. So my first target is this place. In this place, we are going to experience some small consolidation, and then after experiencing those small consolidation, we are going to have a breakout to the upside. So let me just, so I'm expecting the market to move from this place to this place, then some small consolidation in this place, and then the markets to move high to this place. You're going to have some small consolidation, then it will breaks out to the upside. Then that will be it. So that is what I'm expecting the market to behave from the weekly time frame. So let us move from the weekly time frame to the daily time frame. So from the daily time frame, you can see after the market touch this region here, which is touching the trend line below, we had a pattern as the markets were moving on a bullish trail. So you can see that after touching this position, it moved to the upper position. If I can, so you can see that there was a certain creation of two layers here. So after touching this position in this place here, we had a move to the downside, several touches to this trend line in the middle. Then we had another touch to this trend line above here. Also had some small consolidation in this trend line at this point here, but then we had a move to the upside, to the downside, sorry. So we had the second touch in this place, then the market moved to the to this upper trend line here, but still in the middle. You can see that this is a trend line in the middle. Then the market moved to the downside. Let me zoom in so that you can be able to have a clear view of what I'm trying to say. So this is what I'm saying. So you can see that we had two touches here, and then we had several touches to the upside, one touch here. See, in terms of forex, that is the reason behind trading, that whenever it touches this trend line here, it moves up to touch this trend line here. So that's the only assurance that you have. So you can, for those of you who are asking me how does one ever is able to trade and also to capitalize on a small move. So you can, let me just give an example here. So you can see from this region to this point here, you can see that you have got 3,141 pips. So you're able to capitalize on it. So it depends on the amount of risk that you want to take. And then the moment you have a target, a targeted number of pips, then you decide your lot size. What can you work with? When you're capitalizing on small position, you can use a huge or a bigger lot size. But the moment you're capitalizing on a very long position, this means that it is going to take long for you to reach that target. You are encouraged to always use a lot size that to you will be comfortable with taking the losses. But whenever you are capitalizing on a small move, you are able, since it's a small move and you're trying to capitalize on it, and also you want that you may get a huge amount out of it, then you can capitalize using a big lot size. So on this move, you can use big lot size. But if my target was from this place to this place, then I'm not going to use the same lot size that I'm going to use from this place to this place. I hope I was clear on that. So let us just continue. So you can see that we had, after these touches here, there was a move to the upside, then it moved to the downside here. We also had a move to the upside, had created some point of support, a point of resistance. It moved to the downside again, then we had a breakout to the upside, touching this trend line in the middle, and currently we are seated on that position. So I hope I was well understood from that point. And then now let me just move to a lower time frame so that I can be able to explain what I'm trying to say. So let me just move from the daily time frame, and then I zoom in so that you can be able to see what I'm trying to explain. So we have got this region here. So I have placed that region because these markets may, after, remember, this is after they have touched this trend line here. So they have already touched this trend line in this position. So this was just a shallow touch of it. So I'm expecting the markets to move to the downside, either to have a retest to this position. Remember, this is a daily time frame. Either to have a retest to this position here, or they may just move to the downside to touch this trend line in this position here. For them to later move up, let me just use this one here. So I'm expecting the market to move to the downside to this point here. Then we are going to have some several consolidation. The markets may decide to move to this point here, touch this trend line, and then for them to move up, have a breakout, and then move to the upside. That is what I'm expecting the markets to do. So it is until the markets move above this, that is when that I'm going to get in from with a buy trade or a buy position, because after it breaks out of this position, it is going to confirm to me that it really wants to move to the upside. So I hope that was clear. So let us move to a lower time frame. So moving to a lower time frame, now you are able to see what I'm trying to say. So the market was supposed to move back, as I have earlier explained to you. So they are going to move down. So you can see the kind of plan that I have. This was a trade, that a position that I saw yesterday, currently seated at around 360 pips. But my expectation is for the market to move up to this position. Then after touching this trend line, it may decide to touch the trend line here according to my prediction, but still it may decide to move up to this position to touch this trend line. So the markets may move to the downside, either to this position, or they may move to the downside from this point, moving on to this point. Then for them to move to the upside, make a breakout and further move up. That is what I'm trying to explain. And I hope you're able to understand that. So this is my plan from the hourly time frame. Currently, I'm expecting the markets to have a breakout of this or out of this position to the downside. Then for them to further move to the downside, and then after touching this trend line, for them to move to the upside, because that is what we have shown from previous charts. So let us move to an hourly time frame. It is from the hourly time frame that you'll be able to have a clear view. So let me just zoom out. So you can see that still from the hourly time frame, that is what I'm currently planning. That is what I'm still seeing. Currently seated on 360. Hopefully all will be well. Okay. So that is what I'm seeing. So the markets will move. I don't know which word to use, but I'm expecting the markets to move to the downside for them to move further to the upside. So that is Euro JPY. So let us move to Euro GBP. Euro GBP, the euro against the Great Britain pound. So for the, if it is okay, I'm going to use this if it is your first time just seeing the charts for the very first time. Euro GBP is also a good pair to work with. So currently that's the movement of the charts. That is how the markets have been moving for a very long period of time. So generally the market is on uptrend. So the markets are moving in an uptrend way. So they are moving up. Oh yeah, they are moving up to this position. Yeah. So after touching this, let me just do this. So after touching this position here, the markets moved to this position and touch. We had a double touches to the up to the downside. Then we had a touch to the upside here. Then we had a touch to the downside in this position. Then the market started moving to the upside. So this is how the markets have been moving for a period of time. So we can see that the markets have been moving in between these two trend lines here. That it was sort of behaving that after touching this trend line here, it had to touch this trend line here. Then it moved to the downside, started creating a point of support in this region, moved to the upside. So we have been experiencing that consolidation for a period of time now. So currently, I'm expecting the market to respect this trend line here. So after touching this position, I'm expecting the markets to move to the downside. To this point here, we are going to experience some small consolidation. This is from a weekly time frame. Please note that this is from a weekly time frame. So after moving from this position, I'm expecting the markets to move up. Then obviously, since it is a point of resistance, and remember, when a chart wants to move from a point of resistance, it must experience some small consolidation. So here I'm expecting the markets to have some small consolidation in this place. Then after experiencing those consolidation, the markets are going to break out to the upside. So here you can see my take profit, but I'm expecting the market to move further to the upside for them to touch this trend line in this position here. So that is it. That is it. That is it. That is it. So that is what I'm expecting from a weekly time frame. That is what I'm expecting from a weekly time frame. So let me further move to a lower time frame. So let me just move further to a lower time frame. So let us move to the daily time frame so that you can be able to have a clear view of how now the markets are. So you can see that the markets have been sitting on these 2 points of resistance and support, and currently the market has touched this trend line below here. So it has already touched this trend line below here. So we are expecting the markets to move to the upside. So this is kind of a point of support that the markets have to break out. That's why we are experiencing this small consolidation. So, but further, I'm expecting a breakout of this position, then for the market to further move to the upside again. So, and then we are going to experience some consolidation here, and then for the market to further move to the upside. So, out of this place, I think it can be a very good idea to take a trade, which is worth it. So let me just do that. So in this place, I can place a trade at that position. I think I'll be targeting how many pips? That is 6,928 pips, and I'll be risking. Oh no, no, no. Okay, yeah. Mhm. So I want to place my stop loss slightly below this. Let me just show you how I place my stop loss to just avoid being kicked out of the market. I'm trying to avoid so much being kicked out of the market. So I'll just place my stop loss slightly below this position, because this position, you never know, it may go for a retest, making it to be a point of support, and when it moves for a retest, then this simply means that you are placed out of the trade. So I'll be risking around 1,500 pips. So I think that is slightly below it. So here I'll be risking 1,500 pips to get a total of 6,930 pips. So that's a good. That is, I usually say that that is good for business. So make sure that your risk ratio to your reward ratio is always 1 is to a bigger number than 1 or more than 1, because that is how you make profit. There is no way you can place your stop loss at a position that is higher than your take profit. Yeah, your take profit, you cannot place. I cannot place because I want to get the profit. I cannot place my take because I want an early profit. Then I place my take profit here, and because I don't want to move out of the market, I place my stop loss there. This is not realistic. This simply means that you are preparing yourself to get more losses than the kind of profit that you want to get, and you can't be successful that way. So it is just simply placing in your stop loss at this position, Then your take profit, yeah, your take profit should always be big than that. So you can see my ratio here. My risk to reward ratio is 4 is to 72. So that is realistic. Yeah. So that's great. So that is my plan. Let me move to an hourly time frame so that you can be able to have a clear view of what I'm trying to see. So you can see that we still have about a lot of confirmation. By the way, this is the secret behind forex. The moment you have got analysis that you are moving from a weekly time frame to an hourly time frame, and all of those time frame are giving you a confirmation that the market is are surely moving to the upside, then that means that you are sure that the markets are moving to the upside. So that's the assurance that you are looking for. So if you can see from from an hourly time frame, I'm sorry for that, from an hourly time frame. So you are able to see that after touching this trend line, move to the upside, several touches to the upside, move to the downside, and then we had a point of resistance here, point of resistance here, move to the downside, upside, to the downside again. So we had some resistance in this place. So we had some several touches here. So currently the markets, I don't know how they are planning, but currently I don't know why they are moving so to the downside. But I'm expecting them to kind of have some corrections here. Then for them to move to the upside, some small consolidating. Let me just write it to them. Let me draw it. So I don't know why the market are still pulling themselves to the downside, but I'm expecting them to have a correction to this place here, for them to have some some small consolidation on this trend line here, for them to experience a breakout of this position. Then we are going to experience some consolidation in this place. Then we are going to have also a move to the upside again. Then you're going to have some consolidation in this place, and then you're going to move to the upside again, experience some small consolidation in this place, then we are going to move to the upside again. So I tend to think, okay, it might seem to be a lot of details, but that is it. That's what I'm expecting it to behave. So I'm just currently waiting to see, but it is worth the risk. It is worth the risk. Like in this, if I was to get into this trend, I'll be risking 200. Remember, this is an hourly time frame. An hourly time frame is different from a daily time frame. So an hourly time frame, but I'm going to explain this in my upcoming YouTube video. So make sure to check it out. I'll be explaining all about candlesticks and the different time frames that they are moving, and also I'll be talking also about pips and how you count the pips and how you calculate the pips, but you guys have already explained it to you. But also I will also be doing that in my YouTube videos, my upcoming YouTube videos. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe, share, comment, and do all that. Yeah, and also don't forget to subscribe. Yeah. So that is it. That's my plan. So in this trade, I'm risking a total of 200 pips to get a reward of 1,800 pips. And you can see my risk to reward ratio. My risk to reward ratio is, where is it? It is kind of being blocked here. So if I was to get in this trade, let me see. Let me just see. So you can see it is the risk to reward ratio is 9 is to, yeah, 9:009. Yeah. So that is good for business. That is good for business. So make sure that always your ratio to risk to reward is 1 is to a bigger number than 1. So that is it that I had. That is what I had prepared for you guys. I'm sorry it took so long. But I wish you a great week, and may the peeps be with you. Yeah, yeah. May the peeps be with you. Thank you guys. Have a lovely week.